I spent my life listening to the quiet places of the human soul. In silence, the mind reveals what noise tries to hide. What you choose to face within yourself begins to soften. Awareness does not rush. It opens space for change to arrive naturally. Most people search for answers outside themselves, yet clarity is born within. Old wounds do not ask for judgment, they ask for understanding. If you are here, you are already listening, and this is how becoming yourself begins.
The engine of your life, it does not sit in the light. It is the fire deep beneath the foundations, the restless, indiscriminate force that demands movement. We call it libido, but that word is too small, too easily dismissed, too often confined only to the flesh. It is not merely a biological urge, it is the very will of the psyche, the raw energy that demands you become everything you were meant to be. Think of the pressure, the raw, indiscriminate force, that drives the seed into the soil, that pushes the mountain upward, and the idea into reality. It is the same current, the same vast, terrifying reservoir of power. And this current is precisely why you are so often exhausted. Because to acknowledge its true scale is to admit that you are not fully in control, that there is an other within you, an immense, untamed energy that dictates the hidden landscape of your choices. This energy is pure dynamis, the power to move mountains, or to utterly destroy the self. We are taught to fear it, to cage it, to mistake its intensity for wickedness. So we deny the voltage, we build walls of politeness and shoulds, we construct elaborate dams of self-censorship. But where does this immense energy go, when you refuse its expression? When you judge the depth of your own needs as grotesque? It does not vanish. It simply pools, behind the dam of your consciousness. This pooling, this gathering pressure, is the shadow, the vast, churning reservoir of all unlived life, the energy you have refused to claim. Every impulse you judged as ugly, every desire you labeled as unacceptable, is stored there, waiting for the moment of overflow. We spend our days, using psychic energy, not to create, but to hold the shadow in place, a perpetual, exhausting maintenance task, a hidden war. Imagine the sheer waste of power, the energy drained simply to maintain the illusion of being entirely good, entirely safe, entirely manageable. This repression, this constant internal friction, is the genesis of all neurosis, the quiet, persistent tremor in the soul, that tells you the dam is cracking, that the water level is rising. The libido demands movement, it yearns for expression, for flow. If denied the high road of creation, it will take the low road of self-sabotage every single time. The sudden, inexplicable urge to destroy the perfect relationship, the compelling necessity to wound the one who trusts you most, the deliberate derailment of a successful career. These are not random flaws of character. They are the repressed libido, seeking violent release, finding the path of least resistance, which is often the path of utter destruction, the tearing down of structures built on sand. The sexual energy itself, when denied conscious integration, becomes a weapon turned inward, or outward. It manifests as anxiety, as obsessive thoughts, as the frantic need for distraction, anything to avoid hearing the roar of the power you have locked away. This is the alchemical challenge, the great work, the transformation. Can you take that raw, chaotic fire, that destructive longing, that overwhelming need for connection or power, and transmute it? Can you turn the lead of shame into the gold of focused action? This transformation requires descent, a willingness to look into the furnace itself, to meet the archetypes lurking in the heat. You must stop fighting the current, and learn to navigate it. The true path to individuation is not achieved by suppressing the dark engine, but by learning how to fuel the light with its flame. The first step is simply to listen to the whispers that rise from the deep, the desires that feel dangerous, the impulses that contradict your carefully curated identity. They are not signs of failure, they are merely data, revealing the true distribution of your psychic force. Where does your mind linger, when you permit it to wander? What fantasies hold the greatest charge? What ambitions feel shameful because of their sheer magnitude? That intensity, that magnetic pull, is the exact location of the power you must reclaim. The libido flows where it is needed, not where you wish it would go. If you find yourself consumed by a fixation, a person, a substance, a fleeting image, that focus is a sign. It reveals an unmet need, a profound imbalance, the psychic engine running wild, attempting to force a breakthrough, even if it leads to ruin. You must ask the difficult question. What is this obsession trying to accomplish for my soul? What energy is trapped within this fixation? And how can I set it free, without causing catastrophe? This work is not comfortable, it is not gentle. It is the necessary confrontation with the beast within the labyrinth, the beast that holds the key to your greatest strength. If you continue to starve this energy, treating it as an enemy, it will eventually breach the walls, and consume everything you cherish. But if you approach it with respect, with the gravity of a true seeker, the beast becomes the guide, the power source for your transformation. It is time to stop apologizing for your intensity, for your depth, for the simple, undeniable fact that you are a creature of immense, untamed energy. This is the power that builds kingdoms, and tears down false prisons. Do not mistake the darkness of the fuel, for the nature of the fire. The transmutation, it is not a gentle art. It is the deliberate descent into the forge, where the heat of your own repressed desire begins to melt the iron cage of your ego. You cannot simply observe the shadow from a safe distance, you must step into its gravity, feel the pull of the deep ocean. This is where the archetypes stir, vast, impersonal forces, that shape the core of your being. The hero, the trickster, the great mother, the destroyer, they are all powered by this same psychic current, the libido. If you refuse to meet them consciously, they will seize control, and act out their dramas through your life, usually in the most inconvenient, and destructive ways. Think of the energy, the sheer, blinding energy, poured into the sudden, irrational rage, the desperate need for external validation, the frantic pursuit of fleeting pleasures. That is not you acting, that is an archetype, a demon, temporarily possessing the empty vessel, because the true captain has abandoned the ship. And how do we identify the nature of the beast? Look at what you hate, and look at what you obsessively admire. The energy you refuse to own, the traits you have banished, they do not disappear, they are simply projected outward, onto the world. The person you despise, the rival whose success burns you, they carry the unlived potential, the shadow power, that you desperately need to reclaim. Your intense repulsion is merely a signpost, pointing to a repressed aspect of your own dynamis, an energy you judge too dangerous, too powerful, to embody yourself. So you cast it out, you see the darkness in the other, refusing to acknowledge the darkness that fuels your own light. Conversely, the person you place upon the pedestal, the figure of impossible perfection, they hold the key to your anima, or animus, the idealized self. That blinding attraction is the libido flowing toward a state of wholeness, a yearning to integrate the traits you believe you lack, the courage, the grace, the profound competence. Every projection is a psychic leak, a constant drain of power. You are giving your energy, your focus, your vital force, to external figures, instead of investing it within. To individuate, is to reverse the flow, to recognize that the source of the power, the source of the admiration, and the source of the rage, resides entirely within your own architecture. The great task is the redirection of this immense current. It is the process of sublimation, not suppression, but the conscious elevation of the energy's purpose. If the raw, chaotic energy of the libido is channeled into neurosis, it manifests as anxiety, as compulsive behavior, as repetitive cycles of self-defeat. But when that same force is consciously directed, it becomes the relentless engine of creation. The intensity of a repressed sexual drive becomes the depth of focus needed for profound intellectual work. The obsessive need for control becomes the disciplined structure of a masterful craft. It is the same fire, merely aimed at a higher target. You must learn to feel the surge, the raw, demanding pressure of the libido, and immediately ask the question: where can I build with this fire, instead of burning down the walls? This is not easy discipline, it is an act of deep psychological listening. It requires you to feel the physical presence of the energy, the tightness in the chest, the restless urgency in the hands, the buzzing electricity beneath the skin. And then, without judgment, without shame, you direct that raw momentum into the work that demands your highest self. The moment of transformation is the moment you choose meaningful exertion over meaningless discharge. Do not be fooled by the illusion of balance achieved through denial. The psyche does not tolerate a vacuum or a lie. If you attempt to integrate only the acceptable parts of your shadow, leaving the truly dark, demanding aspects locked away, the foundation of yourself will remain unstable. Wholeness. Individuation demands total inclusion. It requires you to embody the fact that the same energy that enables profound compassion is also capable of profound destruction. This dual nature is not a flaw, it is the definition of power. To deny the darkness is to castrate the light, it is to live as a partial being, forever haunted by the energy you refuse to claim. Every day, you are given this choice. Will you remain a victim of your unconscious drives, a puppet danced by hidden archetypes? Or will you take the reins of your own dynamis, embrace the terrifying scale of your own libido? Only when you stop fighting the current, and learn to harness its velocity, can you truly begin to move, not just through life, but toward the complete, terrifying, and magnificent self you were always destined to be. The journey into the self is the ultimate act of courage. It requires you to face the fact that the scale of your inner world is terrifyingly vast. You are not a gentle stream, you are a reservoir, held back by fragile human fears. The water level is rising, always rising. And the only true safety is found in allowing the flood, but directing the current. We mistake repression for control, but true control is the conscious navigation of the tempest, not the denial of its existence. When the war within ceases, when the internal friction is finally stilled, the energy wasted on repression becomes available instantly. Imagine the silence, the profound, deep silence that follows the cessation of battle. That silence is not emptiness, it is pure potential. It is the focused power of a psyche finally aligned, where the conscious will and the unconscious drive move in the same direction. The libido, no longer seeking chaotic release, now flows effortlessly into the architecture of your destiny. This is the state of flow, the moment when effort dissolves, because the inner engine is finally supporting the outer action. You cease to push against the world, and instead, you become the force that moves through it. The integration of the shadow, the acceptance of the sheer, demanding power of your libido, does not make you a saint, it makes you real. It means you are no longer defined by the limits you allowed others to set for you. It means the energy that once drove shame, now fuels conviction. This is the price of wholeness, the acceptance of your own dark majesty. You must stop trying to be merely good, and start striving to be complete. The integrated man is not without darkness, he is simply the one who has learned to carry his own fire without being consumed. He knows the beast, he understands its hunger, and he holds the reins, not through brute force, but through profound respect. He has made peace with the necessary chaos, the inherent dualism that defines all living power. The greatest work of your life is not outside of you. It is the mastery of this inner engine, the transformation of chaos into creative necessity. Go now, and claim the full measure of your power. Do not apologize for the depth of your needs, or the intensity of your desires. They are not flaws, they are the precise measurement of the psychic energy available to you, if you only learn to wield it. The engine is running, do not let its energy stall, or turn against you. Your life is waiting to be fueled by the very depths you once feared to look upon. Step into the forge, embrace the heat of your own becoming, and become the master of your own soul's velocity. The self awaits, whole, terrifying, and utterly unbound. If you are ready to confront what lies beneath, subscribe to the Jungian Shadow. We explore the depths together.